Well, Minister for Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Pravin Gordhan has urged municipalities to strive for sound financial management. While he was speaking at the Presidential Local Government Summit that's underway in Midrand this afternoon, when urgent action plan to strengthen local government by getting the basics right is now being hammered out. Well, for a look at the issue, we're joined in studio by Father Smangaliso Mkhatshwa, the former mayor of Tshwane and also inaugural president of the United Cities and Local Governments of Africa. Good afternoon, Father, and thank you for your time on the PM News Desk.
It's a pleasure, and thank you very much for the opportunity.
Father, the President sums it up well when he says local government exists to serve the people, and this is the bottom line. But there is a growing sentiment out there that those in the corridors of power are ignoring the needs of the poor. How do we turn things around?
One, we need to have put a lot of emphasis on leadership. I think that for me, that is really fundamentally the problem. The technical side of leadership, financial management and so on, so that's fine. All that must be gone into. But what you need to do, first of all, is to ensure that as a leader, you interact with the people on a regular basis. The interaction we're talking about is not just informing people about what you are doing, but it's also consulting people, listening to people. We used to have what we called imbizo, on a fairly regular basis. When I was an executive mayor myself, with regular sessions such as those, we really engaged the people, and sometimes the discussions would be quite heated. I would say number one, good, effective communication. Two, actually knowledge of how the system works, knowing the legislation and how the system of local government is also linked to the other spheres of government.
Father, if you look there, you'll see pictures of some violent service delivery protests across the country. Now, many of these violent events could have been resolved peacefully, like you say, if there was more of a consultative process. How crucial is it for our leaders to engage with communities on the ground? Because actually listening to people goes a long way to alleviating some of the frustrations that build up.
South Africans are very politically conscious and aware crowd, and therefore they want to get the feeling that they are being genuinely consulted, that they also have a say in the way in which they are governed. In fact, this is a statutory requirement with the IDP that no municipality can pass a budget without consulting the communities.
The fact remains that the apartheid regime was the most corrupt in the history of human development. I mean, the levels of corruption and mismanagement reached unprecedented levels, but we never heard about it because there was simply no systems of government in place to ensure accountability and transparency. But we need to now clean up our municipalities, and quickly so. Where do we begin?
Well, first of all, we've got to make sure that the people that are appointed into the positions of responsibilities, that they know what they are there for. Number two, also to make sure that they enjoy the support of the people, they be properly elected, that there's no favoritism, that people are not given positions, for reasons of nepotism or friendship and so on and so on. I think for me that's a very important start, because if you are honest and open with the people,
you build credibility.
Actually, even if you make mistakes from time to time, people will somehow condone some of the mistakes and so on. But if at all they feel that either you impose on them or you don't even really know what you are doing, and that you are not prepared to listen to them, then of course they start doing things that sometimes are quite unfortunate and irresponsible. So I think for me it's very important that, like a good leader, you want to be able to say, people know what your agenda is, but it's not only your personal agenda, it's a kind of a program and agenda that you put together in consultation with the people.
Father, back to the basics, in essence, means that local government must indeed become everybody's business. This is not just a government problem. We need to be proactive and look for solutions ourselves as well. How do we encourage a culture of personal responsibility and active citizenship?
Train people, sensitize people. Actually, we have summarized it by saying active citizenship, because in my experience, lots of people in this country, they are probably inhabitants of South Africa, not citizens. Because citizens, even according to the Greek meaning of the term, it means you take responsibility for the affairs of the city, of the country. You participate actively in the way the city is governed. And also that's what democracy is really all about. So for me, that is a very important beginning, it's a very important start.
Thank you, Father Smangaliso. I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. We are out of time. Moving on to other news, there's now